The tide in Santa Clara has turned and shredded any script. There's a new piece that could unlock the offense, a behind-the-scenes decision that looks absurd but hides a trick, a backfield move that reveals the real plan for Week 1, and a rookie quarterback connection capable of lighting up the season. But not everything is what it seems. What would be your call to save the month? At Aston, you won't believe what we've got today. One decision shook the roster, and another opened unexpected space right now. So grab a seat, drop a like, and let's dive straight into the news. If there's one position group that turned into a roller coaster these past few weeks, it's wide receiver. A wave of injuries scrambled the hierarchy, forced improvisation, and opened the door for aggressive moves, including the trade for former Chiefs wideout Sky Moore, just to keep the passing plan breathing. And yet, even with the top trio healthy, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and Jawan Jennings, there's still a clear gap: the lack of a true field stretcher, someone who forces safeties to back off and expands the spacing for the entire machine. Interested, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, released after rookie Torrey Horton's rise in Seattle, is the prototype for that role. He's not the most refined route runner, and he does carry a history of drops. Everyone knows that. But he's also a 6'4" target with unusual speed for his size and a resume full of big plays when you unleash him on go routes, posts, and deep crossers. In Kyle Shanahan's system, built around timing, horizontal separation, and yards after the catch, a vertical threat is a catalyst. It tugs coverage, reallocates defensive resources, and gives this offense a different look. Tactically, MVS changes the defensive math. With him on the field, single high becomes a risk, and coordinators lean toward too high out of respect for the speed, which lightens the box for Christian McCaffrey and supercharges play action. Linebackers take a cautious half step, safeties hesitate, and Pearsall Jennings exploit the soft spots between zones. Ayuk will still command primary attention, but with the field stretched, Brock Purdy's windows get cleaner, especially off heavy motion play action when a defense must pick its poison, protect the roof, or honor the run. This isn't about volume, it's about 2 shots a game that change the geometry, punish lazy coverage, and plant fear in the opposing coordinator. There's risk management here too. If the medical staff needs to manage Ayuk's early season workload, or if Pearsall is still calibrating rhythm after missing part of the offseason, a veteran with a defined role, clearouts, situational bombs, first down threats that force respect, prevents overloading the rest of the group. Logistically, the fit is simple: a lean route tree, 15-20 snaps with clear assignments right out of the gate, without rewriting the playbook. Financially, it's a friendly bet, a short deal, minimal cap hit, and an easy out if the fit isn't there. And there's a psychological element. Pulling a speedster from a division rival and turning him into a chess piece in your own attack sends a message to the NFC West. The fan base is split. Some fear the drops. Others see a strategic necessity amid the injury storm. I'm in the middle, with an aggressive tilt, low cost, real upside, and a move aligned with what this roster needs to unlock the offense right now. It's the kind of bet that ages well when the calendar tightens and every snap becomes high-risk chess. And if the opponent knows a 9 route can arrive at any moment, it's already worth every penny. Astonished. And that wasn't even the day's most surprising twist. What looked like a senseless front office move actually hid a calculated plan to reorganize the 53 with surgical precision. When the news broke, a lot of people thought, have the 49ers lost it? Cutting Thomas Morstead felt pointless on the surface. A dependable veteran punter brought in at the special teams coordinator's request, discarded like a spare part. Reactions flew. Were the Niners really going into the season without a punter? Were they about to pull Mitch Wishnowsky out of thin air? But as always, the NFL's backstage has more layers than a quick glance reveals. This was a cold, calculated move. The key is Jacob Cowing, the promising receiver dealing with a serious ankle injury. Putting him on injured reserve before final cuts would have meant a season-ending designation in 2025. The physically unable to perform list, that's 4 guaranteed games out. These and either option made sense for a staff that believes in the kid's upside, so they executed a roster gymnastics routine, release Morstead temporarily, hold the spot, protect Cowing, wait out the 24-hour window, and then slide the pieces back into place. The result: Cowing goes to IR with a designation to return. Morstead re-signs to the 53, and the team preserves young talent without sacrificing special teams experience. The genius here isn't in punting the ball, it's in punting through the league's bureaucracy. It's a strategic calculation that shows John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan aren't leaving a single line of the rulebook unused. And that's the beauty of following the Niners. When it looks like chaos won, there's usually a meticulous plan underneath. The fan base split between those who called it a blunder and those who saw the strategy. What's certain is that San Francisco proved details matter when you're playing high-stakes roster chess. And while we're still parsing that sleight of hand, a decision in the backfield makes the team's Week 1 intentions even clearer. Jeff Wilson Jr. is one of those names that pulls on the fan base's memory, but in today's puzzle there wasn't much space for the piece to move. The truth is, his signing was more emergency insurance when injuries exploded during camp than a long-term blueprint. And when the health tide starts to turn, someone pays the bill. His release, reported by Adam Schefter, isn't just nostalgic goodbye, it's a sign of good news. Jordan James is on his way back. The rookie, a fifth-round pick, broke a finger early, had surgery, and seemed distant. But the timeline worked out. Shanahan always said a few weeks, and the calendar fits the opener. If James is truly close, the backfield takes on a fresh shape. McCaffrey as the engine, Brian Robinson Jr. as the newly acquired hammer, Isaac Guerendo as the change-of-pace speedster, and James easing into the mix. The most interesting part is the embedded message. The front office doesn't want to waste the rookie's first 4 games on an injury list. If he weren't near ready, they would have done it without hesitation. Choosing to cut Wilson instead of protecting him another way signals confidence in the recovery and a desire to involve James immediately. The fan reaction is equal parts pain and hope. On one side, memories of 2020 when Wilson led the team in rush. On the other, the excitement of seeing fresh legs tested on Sundays. There's also the strategic layer. Keeping McCaffrey fresh all season means rotating the options with intent. If James takes a handful of snaps in September, he could be the piece that prevents wear and tear for the star. Wilson, meanwhile, isn't necessarily off the radar. The practice squad route is real, a way to retain veteran insurance without burning a roster spot. But looking at the bigger picture, his story in San Francisco feels like it's reached the final chapter, and the future points to youth and dynamism at the most physically punishing spot on the roster. And while we process that symbolic farewell, a new connection on offense is starting to take shape, and it might ignite the fan base's imagination even more. If there's a spark capable of lighting up the faithful's hope right out of the gate, it's Ricky Pearsall. The first-round pick arrived labeled a refined route runner, the missing piece in the passing game puzzle. Anxiety spiked when he missed all of OTAs. Looked like chemistry with Brock Purdy might lag. But one preseason series against the Raiders was enough to flash the blueprint in just one drive. Those two seemed to speak the same language. Timing, trust, and ease, everything showed up in a handful of snaps. Pearsall explained the process afterward: relentless reps, intentionality, and daily work side by side with Purdy. No shortcuts, no artificial chemistry. Sweat, repetition, and a mindset that refuses to be satisfied. And when your quarterback calls the connection natural, that's not hype. It's the kind of thing that robs opposing defenses of sleep. Tactically, Pearsall solves an old problem. Last year, the offense needed more fluency in the intermediate range, the ability to create clean separation and offer a safety valve on third down. Now Purdy gets a route of safety that can turn into dynamite when layered with Ayuk's downfield threat and the constant gravity of McCaffrey in the backfield. If Jennings has always been the tough, reliable hands, Pearsall can be the space maestro, expanding the playbook and unlocking concepts Shanahan kept tucked on the call sheet. The fans noticed and buzzed after those first flashes, saying it looked like veteran chemistry, not a rookie still finding his way. Of course, durability is the big question. Keeping Pearsall healthy is priority number 1. If he makes it through a full season, the offense's ceiling rises dramatically. And it's not just about yards, it's about consistency, rhythm, and quarterback confidence. When Purdy looks and knows the rookie will be exactly where he's supposed to be, the game flows. The most exciting part is we're still at the beginning. Reps will pile up, adjustments will sharpen the timing, and if things track the way they promise, we'll see a partnership that could define the attack's future in Santa Clara. It feels like we're witnessing the birth of a connection that can shape the franchise's immediate arc, and it might be the flame that truly sets this season ablaze. Niner family, after diving into today's 4 bombshells, the feeling is crystal clear. This is a team reinventing itself through the details. A receiver who can change the offense's geometry, a front office maneuver that showed administrative brilliance, a rejuvenated backfield with real options, and a rookie QB connection already sending chills through the fan base. Each headline is a chess piece placed with intention. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these stories will define the season? Hit the comments, and don't forget, drop a like, subscribe, and let's run this journey together.